you think so like you're talking about talking to patients about this stuff, but like
Yes.
does every CA in order for them to be like an A plus employee, do they need to be able to communicate like chiropractic?
Absolutely. I would say
Oh.
bare minimum. Bare minimum. If your CA doesn't know what subluxation is, then we need to talk.
Mhm. Okay. So, like but some people, like, they're just gonna be like, "Oh, I don't" that's, like, almost asking them to give a speech.
Um, Not necessarily because everybody has a different take on it. And you should be able to explain why you're working there, what your story is, and share things. I mean, that's taking it to a next level, right? If
Mhm.
you have a CA at the front at one office that doesn't necessarily know about chiropractic, but then you have another CA that does, and they're able to talk to a patient and then maybe lead that into getting their mom or sister or somebody else scheduled, like, why wouldn't you inform your CA, give them those tools in order to do that?
Mhm. Okay. So, I think the new patient phone call is definitely, like, a great place for this, and I could
Mhm.
see that being actually, like, an easier thing for people to be like, "Oh, okay." But I wanna talk about, like, the small talk that happens in the day-to-day of like, in the clinic, because I feel like, if you've got, like, just a really nice, outgoing CA, and they have no problem talking like, yes, I mean, I love talking to the patients, but a lot of times it's like, we tell them their job is like, just make them feel at home. And so it's like, how
Mhm.
was your weekend? Oh, how was the band concert? Like this and that. So what's your advice for a CA on how to insert chiropractic education into the small talk that just happens on a daily basis with patients that are coming and going, you've seen 20, 30, 40 times. Like, how do you move them out of just like the comfort of like, oh, hey, Jenny, she's seen Jenny 100 times and like to educate more.
I absolutely love that you asked that because that is such a question that I get so many times is how do we get this small talk, politics, news, weather, this, all of this outside of the office and bring it back to chiropractic? So I make it almost like a game. Like, okay, I always talk about planting seeds and finding seeds. So the biggest thing is when we're making small talk is to make sure we're also listening. We're always trying to listen for cues that the patient might say, like maybe they're moving, maybe they're going to their daughter's soccer practice next week, or they're going to a Mets game. You're basically listening for any cues that you could tie back to chiropractic, but while also being present with the patient. Because if you're, not really listening and you're just trying to sell something or plan a referral statement, the patient's going to know too. So first, you have to actually be interested in what the patient is saying. And second, listening. So I was recently at an office and somebody came in and they did a little key card swipe and they started talking to me something about politics. And it just started going south. And I said, well, I bet you the guy lost because he wasn't under chiropractic treatment. Maybe that's why the other guy won. And just made it a joke. And then let's move you to bench two.
Right. Okay,
So,
buddy. Yeah.
it's just, or there was a patient that was talking about moving. And that's when we said, you're normally one time a week, but since you're moving next weekend, let's have you come in two times because your body is going to need it anymore, need it more. So I think it's just finding a
You
way.
like so a CA recommended a boost, like an
Yes.
extra adjustment?
Yes.
I mean, holy shit. I think I would like I don't know, I just thought of like the dirtiest analogy, whatever. Like I would be so excited if I heard one of my CAs sell a boost adjustment. Sorry, that's just like the phrase that we use. If somebody's
Okay.
weekly and they got two, it would be like, oh, do a boost adjustment. So like get two next week instead of one.
Hmm.
They they can do that?
I feel like it's like a mind blown right now. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they be able to do that? It's
Yeah,
not like they're saying you need less chiropractic. It's
exactly.
like during times of stress, your body often needs more. Of course they can sell that. What else can they sell?
Well, one of the things we're working on right now is back to school backpack checks because
Okay.
school's coming up. So making sure we're letting our patients know to go ahead and bring in little Billy. Kids tend to wear backpacks on one shoulder or too high or too low. So let's go ahead and bring him in and get a free backpack check. And then when he's there, the doctor can do a free scoliosis check, which then leads into a full exam. And now the patient's under care. So there's a lot of little ways that the CA can really help the practice. And I think, again, just taking it back, once the DC is sharing stories, showing x-rays, the CA is under treatment, like you definitely should have your CA getting
Mhm.
chiropractic treatment
Yeah.
and them feeling it, then they feel that ownership of talking to patients more and sharing those kind of things. 5-star Google and Yelp reviews are another thing a patient can ask for. If they're talking to someone and they say, "Hey, my headaches have went away. Like I have headaches no more." Oh my God, Mary, that is absolutely amazing. There are so many people that have headaches that don't know chiropractic can help. It would be awesome if you could, share a testimony or do a 5-star Google Yelp review. Like that's what your CAs are for. They're not just there to
Mhm.
schedule, answer the phone, and check people in and out. It's so much
Mm.
more.
It's so much more. It really is a sales job.